Jake, great to speak to you. First off, I've got to get your reaction. What were your thoughts when you found out that Tommy Fury wasn't coming to Florida for this big fight next weekend?
Hey, man, I was upset. A lot of stuff had been said, and I wanted to knock him out. I wanted to make him bleed and eat the canvas. That's the most satisfying part, is when your opponent has a lot to say and you just knock them out and embarrass them in front of the whole world. So I'm a little bit that I'm not able to do that. The kid's scared. The kid cracked under pressure. The whole fight buildup got to him, and now he fumbled the biggest opportunity of his life, fumbled the biggest payday of his life, and he's going to have to return all the Christmas presents that he got Molly, because now he has no way of paying for them.
What was your thinking? Because you could have looked at rearranging the fight for next year, but you've decided to take on another fighter in Tyron Woodley next week. What was going through your mind when you were weighing up those decisions?
I'll fight anybody, anywhere, anytime, and I mean it when I say it. And this event, the fans wanted this. The fans paid for tickets. The fans were hoping to see me fight by the end of the year. And not only that, all the people on the undercard, all the fighters who were counting on this fight for the holidays, for the paychecks, whatever it is, I couldn't let them down. I couldn't let the fans down, and the show must go on. This is business, and these types of things happen in boxing. And I just told my team, I'll fight anybody, whoever it is. Tyron Woodley was down. He had been training for a fight in January, and he has balls for getting in there and stepping in, and it's going to be exciting, just as exciting. It's almost a more exciting fight than Tommy Fury, just because Tyron's harder. Tyron's more experienced. He wants to get that knockout. I'm giving him an extra $500,000 if he can knock me out. So this is going to be another crazy show. December 18th, the show goes on.
And what happens with Tommy Fury now? Are you willing to give him a shot next year, or as far as you're concerned, is the door now closed on that?
Man, for me, the door is closing. He's not reliable. He didn't show up to the first press conference. He's faking these injuries or whatever they are, and it's upsetting. So if he's doing that now, then what's stopping him from doing it next year? For me, in a cynical way, I sort of just want to leave him in the dust and never give him this opportunity again.
What would you have to say to John Fury? It was a quite incredible press conference 2 weeks ago. He certainly had plenty to say.
I would just say, start looking for a new job, and then, you're a cringe old man. Nothing really changes. He's an old, miserable man who never accomplished anything in his life. His boxing, he has a mediocre boxing record, and the best thing he ever did was have sex with Tyson's mom to spawn Tyson. That's his only accomplishment, is having a giant kid who became the heavyweight champion of the world.
It was quite incredible at that press conference, because at one point it looked like he was going to punch you through a TV screen. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but would you be willing to come to the UK and fight him and settle it in the ring?
I would fight John Fury for sure. I think it would be hilarious. I was hoping he would have punched the TV. If he would have done it, man, that would be one of the most legendary press conference moments ever. So he's kind of for not, but I would fight him. I'll fight the whole family. If Tyson moves down to cruiserweight, I'll fight Tyson. No problem.
Were you a bit disappointed that you didn't get to see Tyson in Florida? He'd have been in Tommy's camp, and I know that there definitely is some respect between the pair of you.
Yeah. I mean, it was all of it was going to be fun. I was looking forward to knocking his brother out and then talking shit to him in the ring. So, now everything's just different, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, this is still going to be a massive fight. Tyron's just as big of a name. and I have unsettled business. I'm not happy with how the previous fight went. I won, yes, but it's time to come back and get a knockout.
Do you feel like that's what you need in this fight against Tyron? A knockout, a statement performance to set yourself up for what you hope is going to be a huge 2022?
Yeah, 100%. Definitely need a knockout, and definitely need to prove to people that I can have a fight, then go back into camp, make adjustments, and come out better.
And what would you see being the pathway for you in 2022? You've spoken in the past, you want to become a world champion. So what do you think you need to do next to get yourself on that journey towards doing that?
I'm not sure. I had everything planned out, and because Tommy pulled out of the fight, everything changes now. So 2022 is sort of up in the air, and me and my team will make the best decisions possible. Obviously, I'm still going to do some massive fights in 2022. It's just who and what and when and where. And those questions will be answered soon.
Tommy said he wants a fight with you more than anything, but what would you want to see from him to be able to agree upon this fight taking place next year?
I don't even know. I really don't care what he does or about him anymore. I'm moving on. He says he wants to fight more than anything, but he doesn't want it more than getting over a cough. So
one thing I wanted to ask you, because you've entered the world of boxing in the last few years, it's a crazy world, really, full of action, politics, drama. What would you change about the sport? Because it's a complex one, but it's a fascinating sport at the same time.
I think there just needs to be a unified league, one league, one place for people to go to watch boxing. And that would make it such a bigger sport. We would get more of the fights we wanted to see. And that's the number one thing. Obviously, it's nearly impossible to do that. But I think that's what I would want to change for sure.
Now, one of the big questions we've been asking this week at talkSPORT, when we're building up to what we thought was going to be Jake Paul against Tommy Fury, is what is Jake Paul's impact on boxing? Is he good for boxing? What would be your response to that?
It's beyond good for boxing. It's great for boxing. It's phenomenal for boxing. It's one of the best things that's happened to boxing in the past couple of decades. What I'm doing is bringing a completely different audience, a younger audience into this sport, growing the boxing fan base, growing the amount of kids who are wanting to sign up to become boxers. I'm advocating for fighter pay, putting fighters on my undercard that then go and get signed and have big contracts after that. I'm helping out women's boxing with everything I'm doing with Amanda Serrano and increasing their pay on a massive level and giving fighters a massive spotlight with a completely different audience. And this is just the start. I've done all of those things in less than a year and a half. So, who knows what else I can accomplish, and I will continue to make this sport better and better and better.
And as you said, this is just the start. Let's talk about you inside the ring. How do you feel like you're developing? How do you feel like you're evolving as a boxer? What sort of fighter do you want to eventually develop into when you reach your peak?
I'm getting better and better and better with each camp. I'm learning more about myself. I'm learning more about my body. I'm learning way more about boxing. I sparred, almost 200 rounds since the fight with Tyron, and we've been putting in the work, and I have what it takes to become a world champion. So we'll see. I'm sparring world champions and going toe to toe with them every single day in the gym. So there's no reason that if I set my mind to it that I can't accomplish it.